Alright, this is part 5 of What If Female Deku was King Ghidorah. So, hold on. Sorry about that. Now, before we get to the episode, this part of the story, I just wanted to talk about you guys about some of the comments I got on my older videos. Now, I just want to, I'm not calling anyone out, but I'm just saying that these were older videos, and that the what ifs this way I prefer to do my what ifs may differ from different what if YouTubers, because it feels a lot more comfortable for me and allows me to be a lot more flexible in my stories. So I'm not calling anyone out, and I'm not villainizing people here. But yeah, I have to remember that different what if YouTubers have different ways of telling their stories. Some people, like the What If crew, prefer to make near hour-long stories for their what ifs, where they're more story-focused and action-based, whereas other what if YouTubers prefer to add in little bits to make that to the middle school arc to make the stories last longer. So that's all I wanted to talk about. And I do thank you for the comments about pointing out any mistakes I made. I do thank that. But you have to remember, these were older videos. Now then, back to the story. We're already a minute in. 38 seconds in, and I haven't even started the story. Anyway, let's begin. So we'll start on the first day of UA, with Izumi waking up and realizing that she's nearly late. As she immediately gets ready, gets out of the house, and begins to fly to UA at... Give me a minute. As Izumi is flying at 550 knots. If any of you in the comments can translate that into miles per hour, then that'd be very helpful. As Izumi immediately sees... Sorry about that. As Izumi immediately sees Rodan flying as well, as she'd immediately fly up next to him, as she would say, ask him if he's late as well, as Rodan would say yes, he woke up late as well. He woke up late, and they're probably not going to make it in time. As Izumi would say, then why don't we fly our top speeds to make it there? As Rodan would look at her, as he would say, isn't that a bit dangerous? As Izumi would say, and we'll pay for the consequences after school, so let's get going. They would both begin to fly at their top speeds. As they would make it to UA, as a strong gust of wind would come up from behind them from the speed they were flying at. As Izumi and Rodan would head into UA, as they'd be looking for Class 1A, which they would come across, as they would find Bakugo and Zuko arguing with Ida, as Ida's basically reprimanding them for the both of them putting their feet on the desk, and yada yada yada, as Zuko and Bakugo would say, did your old school put a stick up your ass, or were you just born with it? As Izumi and Rodan had just walked in, as Bakugo and Zuko had said that, Bakugo and Zuko would see Izumi and Rodan and just immediately begin to glare at them, because the so-called villain and weakling, in their view, had gone into the most prestigious hero school and is in the top class as well. As Izumi and Rodan, not paying attention to Bakugo or Zuko, would immediately head to their desk and sit down. as Aizawa would come into the class saying that he is their homeroom teacher and that they are going to be having a quirk assessment test with Izumi, with Uraraka asking what about orientation, with Aizawa saying that they don't really have time for that. As Izumi and Rodan would immediately take the gym uniforms and then head to the changing room, where Izumi basically sees the tiny peephole and blasts a little bit of it with her gravity beam, which would cause the interior of it to become a bit unstable and crumble, covering the hole up. As when Mineta would try to peek through it, he would see nothing but darkness due to the hole being covered up. As Izumi and Rodan would already be outside, waiting for everyone else so they can do the quirk assessment test. With Aizawa asking Izumi what is the furthest that she has thrown a ball in middle school, as she would say that it was around 500 meters, as Aizawa would tell her to do it with her quirk, as Izumi would immediately open up a wormhole to where one of the ghidorah heads would come out from, as she would place it in the mouth of the ghidorah head, as it'd immediately go back into the wormhole, with the reading on Aizawa's device as infinite. As we all know, for those of us who have watched Planet Eater, we all know that the plane in which Ghidorah exists in the anime universe is its own dimension between worlds. So, yeah. As everybody is surprised that Izumi had gone infinite, and Zuko and Bakugo are just absolutely fuming at how strong she is. As the other tests would go, with Izumi and Rodan scoring first and second places respectively, especially in the long jump test, as they would have both just flown. And in the race portion, Rodan would have flown at his top speed, as Izumi would have, sorry for the voice cracks, would have manipulated time in order for her to get into first place, with Rodan then getting in second place in that as well. Grip strength, that isn't even a competition. Izumi and Rodan get first and second place respectively due to them being so strong. Actually, they both tie first place in that one because they both end up destroying the device. As once all the tests are done, the leaderboard is like this: Izumi in first place, Rodan in second place, Shoto in third place, Momo in fourth place, and Bakugo in fifth place, and Zuko in sixth place. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. As Mineta is in last place, as he is expelled, as Izumi and Rodan and everyone else in Class 1A head back to the classroom after they got changed back into a school uniform to continue with their day. We'll then cut to the next day with them approaching the end of the day. At the end of the day, and everybody's just talking to each other, sitting at their desks. The Ghidorah heads had come out from the dimensional portal because they're bored, and they want to see Izumi. So they came out because I'm sort of like giving them like the MonsterVerse personalities. So the one on Izumi's right, her, which is her right, our left is Ichi. Wait, hold on. What one? Yeah, it was hold on, give me a minute. Okay, just had to remember which ones were which. So this is Ichi, and this one is San, but the MonsterVerse fandom wants to call him Kevin, so I'm gonna call him Kevin. Why? Because I cannot remember San for the entirety of the series. So Ichi and Kevin have come out. Ichi is being aggressive to anybody who tries to come near Izumi, and Kevin is currently just sleeping, getting head pats from Izumi. As they'd hear something coming down from the hallway, as Ichi is currently getting ready to open fire. As All Might busts through the door yelling, "I'm here," coming through the door like a normal person, as Ichi would then fire a gravity beam, which would hit the wall beside All Might. As everybody would just be shocked that one of Izumi's ghidorah heads would try to hit All Might. As they would just be yelling at Izumi, saying, "What were you thinking about All Might?" As Zuko and Bakugo thought this will be brilliant, she'll get expelled for this. As Izumi would explain that they are a part of their quirk, but they have their own personalities. Ichi here is more aggressive, while Kevin here is more relaxed and childish. As Tokiyami would say, so they're just like my dark shadow then. With Izumi saying pretty much, yeah. As All Might would then go on to give a speech and then bring out their hero costumes, as everybody is prepared for the heroes versus villains training. And that is where I'm going to leave this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And for those of you who have made it to the end, I am going to be asking for the ship for this series. So do leave your ships in the comment section below, and whichever ones get the most votes will be the ship for the series. Now, I do hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you all next time.